like your backdrop. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is the backyard. My new office here, right here, the deck today. So hopefully it doesn't rain on us. My name is Jim Grillo, CMP of HeresChicago.com. I'm here with the one, the only, the myth, the legend, Jeff Durocher, the U.S. Poker and Casino Party's president. And he is moving and shaking here in a virtual world. Let's say hello to Jeff. Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Jim. Good. How are you?
Oh, great. Looks like you're at the poker table.
Yeah, we had to get creative. We're setting up casino tables everywhere.
Yeah, so you can lend a virtual hand to me right now, right, on that table?
Here we go.
There you go. Well, I wanted to get in touch with you because I know you're one of the movers and shakers as far as putting together these virtual team building type events and group outing events. You were nice enough to invite me in on your test for the virtual poker, and I believe it was Texas Hold'em. And why don't you kind of give us an idea, like, how do you see all this going, and are you getting clients right now that are really interested in what you put together here? So let's start right there, Jeff. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. So in some ways, I think I'm kind of lucky. We had a couple of clients come to us and say, "Hey, we've got we're trying to think of ways to keep our teammates engaged and make them feel a part of something. So do you guys do any virtual poker?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And then I tried to figure it out. So we actually had a need, and then we created a solution for, which is an ideal situation to be in. The problem is everything was a compressed time, so we had to really do set up overnight. And maybe about 36 hours, we created an online experience. I went out, took it out, tested it, test marketed it. You were nice enough to join in on that. And I think we got it nailed down for a really good experience for the client. And we sold a couple. So we're excited to try that out and generate a little revenue.
Yeah, that was the first time I played poker in a long time, as a matter of fact. And I really got into it, and you're looking at everybody else winning and, I'm losing or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was fun and engaging, and we learned a lot. I've just been throwing a lot out on the internet and doing a lot of Zoom calls and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. So we've learned a lot. And one of the main takeaways I've had is most people want to limit a Zoom session to about an hour. Much more than that, they begin to fatigue a little bit. So we really had to compress our 3-hour casino night or 3 or 4 hour poker tournament down to an hour. So that was one of the challenges we had to overcome.
What's kind of cool too is you're employing some of your current dealers that used to go out to events.
Yeah, we've got really two things we developed. One is the poker, online poker, which we use a third-party software, and we have a Zoom overlay on it so that people can see who you're playing against at your table. And the reason that's important is poker, you play against each other. So you can't see the other person's cards or else it's an advantage. So the third-party software allows us to keep that cards hidden. The other part, which you're talking about, is people saying, "Can we do this with a live dealer?" And we said, sure. So what we've done is we've created, situations just like this. So this is a blackjack table. If somebody wanted to order a blackjack table with a live dealer, we'd have our dealer behind a table like this, lit with a Zoom session. 6 or 7 people could join, and they could begin to play blackjack. So we've been able to do that with 4 table types: blackjack, roulette, money wheel, and craps. So we're able to do 1 to 2 tables here in my home office, and we can do 3 to 4 tables at our warehouse. And then if it goes bigger than that, or they want large tables, we partnered with a couple of venues to get it so that we could bring the tables in there, set it up, have our live dealers behind it, broadcast it through a Zoom connection, and people are allowed to play and move from one table to the other. So we're pretty excited about that offering, this sort of blended model where you're using a live dealer and the technology.
And what kind of traction do you think you're getting from that, from people who are very interested in it?
So we put out probably a dozen proposals for it already, for the live poker thing, or sorry, live casino nights. And we've got a lot of good inquiries back, like, tell me a little bit more. How does the pricing work? You know, can you do a demo? So we've been doing a lot of demos, all day to day demos. Sunday was trial with some friends on some other elements of it, moving from one place to another. So the interest is there. They're sort of relieved that there's an offering, and they're now talking about budget, scope. How do we roll this out to our folks? And I feel pretty bullish about being able to sell this over the next 4 weeks of quarantine.
That's great. Now you've had U.S. poker and casino parties for a long time now. So how many years have you had this company?
So about in 2011, so we're in our 9th year. And we've been really lucky and grown every year and kind of expanded not only our network in Chicago, but expanded outside of Chicago as well.
Okay.
It's been a fun ride until about, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. We were all having fun. I'm moving us inside for a minute. We are just getting rained on, so we don't want to do that. So through the kitchen. All right. So have you been doing any other kind of things virtually?
Yeah, so we've done 2 things, and most of it was to just get some at-bats on the technology, right? So one of the things we've done is a blackjack training. So we've invited people to come onto a blackjack table like this, and we'll teach them the basics of blackjack. And we have a 2-camera shoot. Right now we just have the one, but we'd have another one on the side, so I'd be able to show them their cards. And they could say whether they want to hit or stay, and then tell me what their bets are. So we're training people on how to do blackjack. Later this week, we're going to be training people on roulette. So training's been kind of fun. We haven't charged for it. It's just a free way to kind of keep the word out there, keep people connecting together, and having some fun. And then I started a weekly variety show, which we launched our first one last Thursday. We had a really good turnout. About 30, 35 people join in, and we had a variety of 3 different acts kind of perform. And the reason I did it was, A, to kind of get some use on the technology, but B, I've got a lot of really talented friends in this industry. I mean, there are some people with fantastic talent, and there's nowhere to use it now. So we thought this variety show through Zoom, virtual variety show, would be a fun way to let them showcase it, keep the word out, keep their skills sharp, and have a good time, get people's mind off the coronavirus.
Yeah, sure. So you did how many in-person events last year?
So we are right around 300 to 350. So I'd say about 3 1/4.
Almost one a day.
Yeah, I mean, some of those were 12 a day, but
yeah, right.
average, yeah. That's our goal, is to get to kind of 1 a day.
So knowing you typically go to 3 or 4 in-person networking events a day, in addition to the amount of events that you already have that day. What the heck are you doing now for that networking need that Jeff Durocher always loves?
Good question. You're giving me way too much credit. I usually network 3 or 4 days a week, often multiple networking events in a day, but it's tough to do 4 in a day. But yeah, so that's been a real adjustment, to be honest, because I'm a pretty social person. I joke with my friends that say we went from 120 mile an hour down to following an old lady with her blinker on going 5 mile an hour on the highway. It's just been, and when you've got people running at that pace for so long, and now suddenly there's nothing to do, it's quite jarring. So I've been lucky. I'm on a couple of boards for associations. We've had 2 types of meetings with those types of boards. One is just, hey, checking in, how are you doing? What can we do to help each other? And then the other is, as an association, what should we be thinking about to help our members get through this? And what can we provide them to keep them feeling connected? So as a result, I've had days where I've done 2 or 3 networking events via Zoom. And in one case, I had to leave early and go to another one and get there late, just like in real life.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, we're on the board for ILEA, and we now have kind of our board calls. If you call, well, we changed the name to Happy Hour on Fridays. So, but I think they're very productive meetings. I think we're actually, we're together, but it's just through the computer. But I think it's even more laid back, and we're getting a lot more done. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, one of the things that I get a little nervous about in those is after a while, we all catch up and we connect, which is wonderful. But now let's have an agenda. What are we going to talk about rather than, just meeting for the sake of meeting? So it feels like last week was kind of the last week of, hey, let's just sit down, have a drink, and catch up. Now it's starting to say, all right, how can we be an effective resource for our members? Let's put a little agenda together. And it's great to connect, and let's keep doing that. But let's also make sure that we have some work to do.
Yeah, and I think we pivoted to that on our last call, and I think we're going to actually implement some of those based on what everybody talked about. So, have you heard anything from other suppliers or planners that you might be able to share with us as far as what they're going through or what they're looking forward to, or are they being successful? Maybe there's some other innovative programs out there.
Yeah, I talked to quite a few people, and it varies quite a bit depending where they're coming from, right? So in a lot of ways, I'm lucky I've got something that I can convert and make virtual. But there are like independent meeting planners. They've got nothing really to do virtually other than education. Other groups, DMCs and third-party planners, they're sort of just they're working on a lot of cancellations and hoping for reschedules. So a lot of us are all working on keeping that cancellation to converting to a reschedule. So that's really where the pain is. There's a lot of sympathy and empathy going around in the community, trying to help one another any way they can. And I've been in touch with a few people that are trying to make the pivot, right? Because, I know a couple of groups that are doing scavenger hunts, and they've tried to virtualize those. They seem like there's a little traction starting to pick up on that. Some trivia folks doing trivia. I got a friend in Wisconsin that does, he's a DJ, and he does kind of live trivia. So he's trying to do that at $15 a person. So it feels like we're in a safe space to experiment. And those of us who have an opportunity with the product, we're out there kind of throwing some stuff out there to test it, see what works, see what doesn't. And people aren't really judging us for being, a bad connection or some missteps, because we're all sort of in this together. So that's what I'm seeing. I've seen a lot of experimentation, trying things, shaping, tweaking, and moving things forward. Very few people are having a lot of revenue generated from it, but the work is being done now to create the products that they can then take out to their clients. The clients are commiserating about what they're going to do, and hopefully this week or next you'll see some transactions.
That's great. Do you foresee having any further future programs?
Yeah, we're working on. I think maybe later this week we're going to launch a drop-off program. So we're going to offer to the public a blackjack table with all the chips and cards for 1 week. Drop it off on a Tuesday. We'll pick it up on Sunday for $100. Or a poker table. So families that are stuck at home with nothing to do, they might just want a poker table to play with. They don't need a dealer or a person from our staff, but we can make a safe drop-off, make sure that everything's clean, and give them the tools to begin to play for a whole week. We're not going back and forth, dropping it off, picking it up. We're just doing it once, and they have it for a whole week. We get it back, clean it, and they have it ready to go. I've got 200 and some tables in my warehouse. I'd rather share those with people at a reasonable price for them so that they can have something to do while they're kind of tied up.
That's awesome. So you're being really innovative, and that's no surprise. Do you have any kind of closing thoughts you would like to share with us? And we could take it from there.
Yeah, I would say this community that we live in, we're givers, and we've been hit really hard, and there's a lot of people struggling. I'm really concerned about this week and next. We've cleaned our houses, we've put everything away, we've talked to all our friends, we've had a couple of Zoom meetings, and now there's still no business, and we got what, three more weeks of this. So now it's sort of focus on staying strong, reaching out to the clients, keeping in touch with them. If you have something else to offer it. If I can help out anyway, I'd love to help you out. Make sure you're getting, when people aren't making money, it's hard, right? They're saying, how am I going to eat? So it's really about this supporting community, people who are used to supporting others. I would just say stay strong, stay innovative. If I can help, reach out. I'd be happy to help you.
Okay. So this is our episode number 2 of 20 Minutes in 2020 with Jeff Durocher, the president of US Poker and Casino Parties. You can find him on HeresChicago.com. Just search US Poker and Casino Parties, and you can contact Jeff directly there. And then anywhere I can put a link, I'll do it in social media, we'll do it in our newsletters and so forth. So wherever you're seeing this, hopefully you can contact Jeff if you have any questions or would like to take advantage of some virtual poker. Get all the guys together and have a table or two. So virtually, Jeff, thank you very much. You've been doing great, and keep on being Jeff Durocher. All right.
Thank you.
Don't ever change. I always say there's about 5 of them out there on any given day. So I think I got the real one now.
Awesome. Hey, thanks. I appreciate all your support, Jim. And keep doing what you're doing. You're doing awesome.
You got it. Thanks again, Jeff. Thanks for being a guest.
You bet. Have a good one. That was cool. He made a change in the middle.
Let's see. Let me
Like
see
live
if
TV.
I can't tell if I turned it off or not.
You can end the meeting. I don't care. How are you holding up, bud?
Here we go. I think I did.
I think if you just hover that bar in the bottom, it'll say record if it's off.
Yeah. Hold on a second. All right, let's see here. Stop.